Good morning, Manchester United fans all over the world. This is Mick from Mufc Realist TV, providing you with a voice of reasoning when it comes to the spin of the Manchester United sales takeover. That's been going on far too long, about 7 months, and are we coming to the end? Some people are saying the club has been sold. British media is saying no, 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 no. It's still no preferred bidders. Reuters is saying yes, it is. Arabian Business is saying yes, it is. And yet again, the British media is downplaying it. Why are they doing so? Including myself, that's been doing forensic investigation for the past 10 months, utilizing my network, working with 1958, United against the Glazers, but also my vast experience within Qatar, business world, and UAE in certain sense. So buckle up, take a drink of your coffee, and we will be back to debunk everything in 10 seconds.
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Right, well, I feel welcome. Dit is my home and I want to achieve success. Okay?
Now, welcome back to on this day of recording. It is Monday the 19th, and of course, everyone is wondering what's going on. There's been dead silence of the weekend, and fair enough. And today is Monday. It's a federal public holiday in USA, so we probably will not hear anything. But the British media has been at it again, and of course, we have to call a spade a spade. As for you that has been following this podcast, we know that we're following the financial market. We apply logic and reasoning and practice independent journalism. Basically, we look at two sides of the stories, present the truth that always in the middle. And at the end of the day, what we're presenting, it's up to you to decide for an educational purpose. So let's dive right into it. This is a truth bomb, what I would call it. This is the moment of truth. As a lot of people will, including myself, will believing that this has to come to an end this week. It has to be announced. There's no other way. And why is British media downplayed in certain things while Arabian Business and likes of Reuters and many other publications going out? No, 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 no. They are definitely selling, and there's a definite exclusivity. And I'm saying 69% done. So what is it? What's going to be? Well, stick around. Let's find out.
You have the ring. And I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. Now let's see how well you handle it.
Let's find out. Let's go right into it. Well, just look at the timeline, basically. Very interesting. On the 13th of June, when it all started, actually, there was, including myself, also got credible reports from the Middle East and rumbles that, including Arabian Business, that, by the way, never publish things unless they get the green light and authorities from the government in UAE or from Qatar that is okay to publish such a story. And by the way, everyone knows by now that's been following this podcast, it is a criminal offense to publish misleading information or fake news, can lead to imprisonment and over $100,000 in fines. They came out on the 13th of June to say, who is Manchester United's new owner? Sheikh Jassim. And it says, in one of the biggest deals in the history of football, the club has been purchased by Qatari Sheikh. Here's all you need to know about Sheikh Jassim. Interesting. Then following up on the 15th, there's an interesting story done by Arabian Sen, who is one of the heavyweights in IPOs and mergers and acquisition, finance reporters, chief editor at Reuters, coming out to say that there is an exclusivity. Glazers has come to an agreement with Sheikh Jassim 92 Holding that is going to be an exclusivity, and that kind of been downplayed by the British media to say, including Ben Jacobs, this is fake news, that there's no exclusivity, yada yada yada. Mirror Football is coming out to say that even Sunday was saying that Sheikh Jassim is about to pull out. It's saying that Sheikh Jassim is prepared to pull out. Ratcliffe back in the race. Ten Hag's Mbappe blow. And yet again, Manchester Evening News also published on Sunday, Sheikh Jassim sports washing and Manchester United impact amid takeover ambitions. You see the narrative, what they're trying to do. Okay, on the other hand of the story, right, you have early on Tuesday, Arabian Business coming to say that it's been purchased. clearly corroborated and check proved by the government, said it's okay, right? On the 15th of June, you have an exclusive by Anibar Sen, sorry, that I also checked with. Is this correct? Yes, it is. Fine, let's go with it, right? And then you have the British media to still spin that. No, 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 no.
You have the ring. And I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. Now let's see how well you handle it.
It's clear and obvious that there is so much information that's going on, and they don't have a Scooby-Doo, right? They don't have a Scooby-Doo, and they want this to continue because it generates more business, it generates more clicks. And once you're gone with the narrative that no, 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 it's Sir Ineas, Sir Ratcliffe, it's in the race, you tend to stick to that. But basically, guys, you shot yourself in the foot. And I don't want to be the one that told you so because I'm independent. That means that I can write whatever I want. I can speak to whoever I want without having a chief editor hanging on my head to say, no, you have to stick to this story because it sells clicks and magazines. And this is what we are in the business for. I, on the other hand, had to check with my sources in Qatar, yes, and all over the world, what's going on here. I got congratulations messages coming back to, yes, it's true. So I went out on the 14th of June with the podcast to say it's 69% done. People are getting confused. So I pretty much explained, so what's really happened here? It's in the middle. It's what Arabian Business is reporting and somewhat what, Reuters is reporting, but it's in the middle. I always say the truth is in the middle. As we know that 92 holding foundations, LLC and Sheikh Jassim, they're acquiring 100% of Manchester United. So what's happened before the 13th was that Glazers had agreement with Sheikh Jassim for the purchase of the B shares, 69%, all premium priced. Now it's yet to understand what that premium price is. It can range anything between $32 per share up to $38 per share. We don't know that, but it's truly a bid that went on the table that the Glazers could not refuse to take. It was a cleaner bid, which lets money on the table, one transaction only, fine, done and dusted. The remaining, what you've seen over this course of week, it's been requiring the 31% of the public shares, which is held by Lindsay Train, Bowen Group, Arias, and the average retailers, the Class A shares, including you and me, that holds the minority share. So that's been trading and it's been going mad. The price has gone up to 25, 26. So this is what's been going on. But as soon as that got published, the stock prices dropped. I mean, I'm talking about Reuters publication. Wow. Wow, Riva. So what's going on here? Of course, there's been downplayment to say, like, oh, well, Jassim identity, oh, he's not real, he's a phantom, right? And it's just a fallacy, one clown show after another. Well, we clearly saw in the beginning where 92 Foundation came to visit Carrington. They stayed there for about 12 hours. You saw like Shahzad Shabazz, which is the gentleman here, and also the president of Sheikh Jassim's 92 Foundation, alongside with Qatari banker Fadi Bakos, Sam Powers, and Yasir Shah for Bank of America, right? This was clearly documented. So he's not a phantom. We will dive right into it. So on another hand, I want to sort of break something for you as well, because, there was on the 15th of June also coming out, there was a certification of a corporation of private limited company, which was 92 UK Holdings, right? Yet again, mysterious way. The British press downplayed it as well. But me, on the other hand, that had the finger on the pulse with Qatar, I have a trade license from the original Qatar Financial Centers where the 92 Holding LLC was established in 20th of April 2023. Let's dive right into what this is. In essence of the registration of the 92 Holdings UK LLC that we've seen on the 15th of June, one need to turn to a significant document of the parent company, which is 92 Holdings LLC, that was established actually on the 20th of April 2022. We need to look at the Qatar Financial Center's original business registrations license, which is QFC number 01880. I mean, in order to understand, we need to understand the business activities the holding companies are having and including, which is comprising of 6 points that I want to cover with you to understand what company or formation 92 Holdings LLC is in terms of being the owner of Manchester United. Number one is owning and maintaining one or more subsidiaries. So what does that mean? So 92 Holdings LLC is like a group of companies. This is the parent holding company, and underneath it's kind of like umbrella. Underneath you have your children, which means that number two, you're granting any type of security interest over its assets, tangible or intangible, including but not limited to receivables. That means shares, real or personal rights, interests of options, or privileges of any kind whatsoever in or in respect to any of such assets for its own benefit, for the benefit of any entity within the holding group company. So that means that they are providing an indemnity guarantee or similar support to any third party of its own benefit or for the benefit of the entire entity of the holding group companies, basically. That means that we are providing a guarantee. We are being the parent company. Underneath, we have our children. We make sure that every single company within this holding group are successfully, profitable as well. That means that the acquisition, holding, or disposal of any interest in any asset, like Manchester United, whether tangible or intangible, for its own benefit or for the benefit of any entity within the holding group company. Now it comes down to a very interesting point. Number 5, providing any type of loan or other form of financing to any entity within the holding group companies and any activities which are ancillary to the above, to the activities set under the points 1 and 5. So that might sound a little bit strange to you, but it's typical normal. Like, it's not a loan because they're providing Islamic banking. That means it's not the loan. It's pretty much an investment in the, backing, providing financial backing to any of those companies, which they are providing a guarantee, immediate guarantee to be successful. They're pretty much investing and backing themselves to say, hey, we are a holding company. We are 92 Holding, and within this, we make sure that there is always cash flow to distribute to any of your children. That's pretty much it from a layman's term. And this, of course, is coming directly from Qatar Financial Center, where it was actually registered April 20th, 2023, signed and sealed, delivered as well. So hope this gives you a little bit of an indication of what kind of company or holding group 92 Holding Foundation is. It's not state-backed. It is a holding company registered within Qatar Financial Center. Now, of course, the details of this registration, of course, if you look at it, right, it's clearly understood that, as we saw on the documentation, the directors of that LLC is Abdullah Rahman Abdullah Al-Ansari. Also, Sheikh Jassim is listed as directors of that holding company. You also see lodged is the secretary, Fadi Bakos. Interesting. Let's have a look at the overall registration. Looking back at the structure, we're seeing clearly that Sheikh Jassim is part of the directors as well. So who is Sheikh Jassim? Let's debunk the myth, because people says, oh, he's a phantom, he doesn't really exist. Well, he's actually the director and chairman of Qatar Islamic Bank, the QIB, also member of the Qatari royal family. He spent much of his youth in United Kingdom, in Plymouth, to be fair, where he studied, took an undergraduate studies, I think it was business and finance, according to a LinkedIn profile. He spent much of his youth in UK, apparently a Manchester United supporter, and he's going to Dorset before studying at the Royal Military Academy at Sandhurst. So there you go. His resume is all about banking. He's about 44 years old. He's a a banker through and through. Qatar Investment Bank, many assignments, vice chairman's been involved with, Qatari, when it was the World Cup and all that stuff. So it's a little bit mystery, but he's a royal. And at the end of the day, royals don't attend bidding processes. It is basically the heavy lifters like Shabazz and everyone else that's been involved with the Raine Group and the Glazers. Now, talking about Shabazz, Shahzad Shabazz. Who is he? Who is Shahzad Shabazz? Well, we see that he's been mentioned in many articles. He's been spotted at Carrington when they had that presentation on the second bidding round. Shahzad Shabazz, according to my knowledge and understanding, is one of the well-known astute bankers in the world. Crucial. He's been holding several CEO positions. He spent 13 years with Bank of America. Prior to that, with a lot of Middle Eastern companies like Chief Executive Officer with Q Invest LLC, CEO for MB Invest as well, CEO for Emirates MBD Bank. But you know what? This is a heavyweight, and he's more of a advisor, acting as the CEO within this bidding takeover process. But it's also assumed that he most likely will be the CEO and the chairman of Manchester United in the takeover. That is just speculation. Fadi Bakos was also somebody that we saw on the incorporation certification license, and you know what? Fadi Bakos is a Lebanese gentleman that spent most of his time within a legal sector. He studied at London Business School in UK as well. Senior legal counsel. So that's more of a legal advisory throughout the bidding process. Fadi is, what I understood, a very, very good negotiator and has an eye out for details. So because there's been a lot of due diligence, cross checks and lists, and Fadi's been leading up that process. He's been also incorporated as a secretary. So one can assume that Fadi will hold a role within the new establishment and Manchester United. Last but not least, you have Abdullah Al Ansari, which is well-sourced connection from mine from LinkedIn as well. He's sitting there as been registered in both the Qatar LLC incorporation and the UK incorporation of 92 Holding, right? So Abdullah, as far as I know, he's a very astute gentleman, studied over in UK. He's a legal counsel as well. Good history in the fields of information technology, sports, shipping, logistics, services. But his main, his main experience is being the legal advisor in terms of, being investor relationships, board director, secretary, and being a legal counsel in general. So Abdul Rahman, to me, will play a important part. He's very good friends with Sheikh Jassim since childhood. He's somewhat, you can call Sheikh Jassim's left hand. But what do I know? It is NDAs at the end of the day. So this is pretty much all I can tell you for now. So what it is, the truth lies in the middle, people. What it is that I said 14th of June, it's 69% done. And some reports coming down say it's 100% done. We will only find out, and I believe it's coming to the very, very end. What's it going to be? According to what the media is saying, 13th of June, that Arabian Business was saying it's been purchased. Or do we believe British media? They're trying to sell more clicks to say, no. It's not still over, and plenty of way to go. It's a long way to go, providing that mental health issues for the global fan base. Or do we believe the 15th of June that it is exclusivity, right? Or should we just say it's done 100%, and we should just expect an announcement within the next couple of days? I believe that the director's fitness test looks similar like this. We're seeing that Shahzad will be probably the chairman of the Manchester United. Below, you will have a CEO, similar structure what you've seen at Manchester City. You have Shahzad Shabazz being the chairman and the CEO. I don't know, for now it looks like Richard Arnold or maybe be a Abdulrahman Abdullah Al Ansari, which we reported before is heavily involved as one of the directors, or will he be the Chief Operation Officer or COO? You have Fadi Bakos as well, which is also commercial aspect. He's very astute when it comes to commercial and legal. And also on top of that food chain, you have Sheikh Jassim Al Thani. And this is the way I see the board of directors fitness test. The rest is kind of an org chart that I have to provide. I do not sit with that information. I think this has already been submitted, must be submitted, and it doesn't take a long time to it's approved, people. Please let me know in the comments below what you think, because it really, really matters, because we are a global fan base all over the world, and what we try to provide is, in layman's term, the voice of reasoning, providing logic, reasoning, and all that jazz. So, what do we draw to a conclusion? Right, I've been quite consistent to say that for weeks, to say that according to my analysis, according to my conversations that I had, according to credible sources as well, that all roads leads to a full sale and all roads goes to 92 Holding Foundation. It is time to say goodbye. It is the end of the Glazers area. It is surreal, but I do expect this. I do expect this to be announced this week. That's what people are saying. That's what rumors are saying. It's not going to be the British media that's getting exclusive scoop. Most likely to go by Bloomberg, Reuters, or one of the global network, CNBC or something like that, based out of America, through the Raine Group and the club officials. But anyway, I want to also give a big shout out to 1958 and also United Against the Glazers for keeping the fight. It's been 18 years, but until then I keep my powder dry, and all we're waiting for is to pop that champagne to get a relief, because it's been relentless in mental health. But we will see. All we're waiting for when the announcement will be. Hand over the keys, Mr. Glazer. Let's move on. Give Erik ten Hag the power of attorney to go to the transfer market that opens up in 10 days. 10 days. And we will be cooking over summer. This has been Mick Ruby from Mufc Realist TV. If something new, major breaking, of course, we are here to cover it for you. Thank you, and please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.